When I initially did the live stream at the end of the year, which was the last live stream that I did, and shout out to everybody that enjoyed themselves and had a good time with it, it was one thing that I left out of it as it pertained to how interesting this thing unfolded, or how everything is going with the platform known as X, but we still call it Twitter because, that's basically what it is. I don't think a lot of the people that are complaining about losing their blue checks or anything like that are worried so much about free speech like they claim they are. And that's what's leading me to this discussion right here. And shout out to KG because he unexpectedly led me into this conversation or this commentary, because I said, how did I miss that? And what I mean is by looking at this example of a person who also got hit by Elon's platform of losing their blue check and saying it violates, they said, I thought this was a free speech platform. I said, y'all need to read the small print of what free speech entails, because apparently you didn't read into it too much, or it must have been written in invisible ink. I don't know. But I swear, PC and PC adjacent love to scream out free speech this and free speech that. And they don't do that. Most of them can't define free speech in the same vein of how they can't define the actual definition of woke. So in this screen, you see a picture from an account. His name is Suleiman Ahmed. I'm guessing that's how you pronounce his first name. I'm not entirely sure. He said, X has demonetized my account, stopped my subscriptions, and taken away my blue tick. But he means his blue check. I thought X was a free speech platform, but now due to not having the same political opinion as Musk, I have been demonetized. Now I want you to put a pin in that as we continue to go forward with this, because little does this person know he actually exposed why he's really upset about, losing the blue check. But let me go through the actual screenshots themselves. So the first screenshot says, X creator revenue sharing pause. Your account Suleiman Ahmed at Sheikh Suleiman has been temporarily paused for creator revenue sharing, as we suspect there have been a breach of our creative monetization standards. The cause was your account has been labeled as not eligible for creator revenue sharing. Please reach out to us here if you have any questions. Best, Team X. So it's just like a regular standard email, and as you can see, it has two up there, so it did go to him, and they just basically said that his revenue sharing has been paused. Now this really doesn't go too much into the detail of why they did it, but I think they probably send that in a separate email, because I know when I was on Twitter, I know that I've gotten a 12-hour pause on my account where I couldn't tweet anything. And if y'all remember when I was talking about it in the live, I actually mentioned that when we was going over Laura Loomer, because that's what happened with her. And I forgot what it was about, but I believe it's because I said something about the Saltine Queen. And I just couldn't tweet for 12 hours. Then they sent it to me. They just basically said acknowledged in this post to remove it, because if the longer the post stayed up there, the longer the ban would actually stay. It would go beyond 12 hours. So I just did it, and they removed the post, and then I just went on about my day. It wasn't a big deal to me. Now I think that was before Elon bought X. I think that was still when it was ran by Jack Dorsey when that ended up happening. But let's go on to the next screenshot. So in this next screenshot, it says at Sheikh Suleiman has deactivated subscriptions. At the next renewal date, your subscription will be canceled and you'll no longer be charged a monthly fee. So that's basically the same thing that happened when I was going through with Laura Loomer. Basically, it's saying that we're going to get you for this month right here, but at the next renewal date, then your subscription, they're going to just cancel it altogether. So that'll be it. You just owe us one more payment and then they'll cancel it at the next renewal, and that'll be it. So basically, when they send this right back, that means that the other one that we just went through is pretty much null and void at this point. Remember, it was temporary, but now this one is officially saying you're demonetized on the platform. So, and then you aren't eligible to use the blue check anymore, which gets the benefits and, typing longer posts and all this, that, and the third. You're back to default settings. You have to just go with the 140 character limit, just like everybody else. Actually, I think I forgot to insert this one. I think I should have inserted this part before the last one, but it doesn't matter. It just says X creator revenue sharing pause. So basically this says that he's not making any money from the post that he makes. And let me also remind you that the posts that they make on X, I believe they do weekly payouts. That's why a lot of them type so much and put so much stuff out there, because it almost kind of works like Twitch in a sense, but I think Twitch only pays once a month, much like YouTube does, in which you have to do a certain amount of hours in order to get paid a certain amount of money. With this one, you have to have a certain amount of engagement to get a certain amount of revenue. But it just says his creative revenue sharing is paused, and it says your account has been temporarily paused for creative revenue sharing. Check your account email for details. And I believe this one probably came first, and then the email came second, and the last part came third. So I have them a little bit out of order, but you know, you can pretty much put the pieces of the puzzle together for yourself. They pretty much all add up to the same thing of, we demonetized you and this was the reason why. Good luck trying to get it back. Now that we've taken care of the technical stuff, let's get into the responses like this one right here, because this is where everything really kind of puts itself into perspective. This person replied with, "You're all complaining about being demonetized." I don't know why they keep calling it demonized, but I guess that autocorrect is undefeated. They said, "You're all complaining about being demonetized while claiming your freedom of speech is being taken away. Yet you're still clearly posting and able to say whatever you want. X doesn't owe you a cent. Deal with it." So that's one post right. Another post read, "You can still speak freely, just not get paid for it. Is that a problem? Was you in for it?" They kind of typed there. I'm gonna try to read it to my best of my abilities. They said, "Is that a problem, or was you in it for change or monetary gain?" Like I said, I wanted you to put a pin in that original post, because we're going to go back to that, because now you're kind of getting the grasping and the understanding of why this is so interesting about how they're losing their minds on here. Because they're not, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't believe they're really losing their minds because of free speech like they claim they are. I truly believe it's because they're not able to make money off of these wild posts. And I'm talking about, some of these posts were absolutely ridiculous with the stuff that they were saying, but they had to post something like that or stuff like that all over because of getting paid. At the end of the day, this was a monetary gain for them. Of course, they're going to sit there and try to claim that it wasn't, but it really was. But we're going to go back to that original post in a second, so stay locked in. Now, this post right here was just crazy, and I thought it was so funny because when I saw it, I literally responded to it, not on the platform, but just out loud. This person said, "At Elon Musk, take action, please." And when I saw that in response to the post, the initial post of this video, I said, but he did though. The action was he took away the blue check, he took away his monetary gain, and he basically demonetized his platform. He's back to factory settings. So he did take action. So I thought that was funny that this person's initial response to that post was for Elon Musk to take action when that's what he did. And then when I looked at the responses under this tweet, they all pretty much said the same thing. Like, all I could do was just sit back and laugh. Which now brings us back to the initial post. Remember, I said to keep a pin in that. Look again at how this post is framed and think about the last post, couple of posts that I just went over. He said, "X has demonetized my account." Already he's starting off with, they took away my money, or the ability for me to make money on this platform. Stopped by, I'm guessing he meant to say stop my subscription, not buy. Stop my subscriptions, which of course also leads to money. And taking away my blue tick, his blue check, which helps him get to more engagement, which leads back to helping him with the first thing he mentioned and the second thing he mentioned. And then he said, "I thought X was a free speech platform." Notice the first things that he mentioned was not about the free speech part. It was the money part. That's the first thing he went with. So that's why I always tell you, the first thing you lead with is the one that you want more emphasis on. So he did not want emphasis on the free speech part. He was making it clear that you're taking away my ability to make money on this platform, saying some outlandish things. And trust me when I tell you, some people were posting screenshots of what this man has said. I can see why they demonetized him. And that's the crazy part. Many of them will get on here and act dumb as to why their stuff was taken away. And then you look through all the stuff that they have said, and then it's like, oh, there it is. And a lot of them, what do I tell you about? The foundation of every grifter's grift is to be anti-black, especially anti-black American. Now I don't know what his situation is, but it must have been enough for him to trigger something for them to actually get him out of there. Now, going back to what some of the people were responding to him with was, well, are you kicked off the platform? Did you lose your entire account? No. So they said you could still post and all that, but then people was coming back saying, oh, it's going to limit his reach and everything like that. They say, okay, but he can still post though. So his quote unquote free speech wasn't taken away. He can still type. It's just that now he doesn't have a blue check next to his name, and two, he's not making money off of it. See, the thing is, going back to what I said in the live, they were fine when they were just talking about us. But then when a new group came in, I guess you could say protected group at this point with the way they carrying on over there, now they have to be even more careful. And now this is why they're upset. Again, to me, it's not because of the lack of free speech, because like the people responded with, you can still talk whatever you say or whatever you want to say. You just can't get paid for it. And you don't own the platform, and Elon Musk does not have to pay you. The platform doesn't have to pay you. And I even saw some people talking about, oh, we're going to go over to Truth Social and stuff like that. Like, you're going to fare any better over there. Like, we get it. You want to say all the stuff that you think you can say with no consequence. But like we said about free speech, in the fine print that you don't read, or whether it's in invisible ink, it may be freedom of speech, but it doesn't say freedom of consequence. I even saw someone even said it in one of these comments. They said freedom of speech, not freedom of reach, as far as engagement goes. So say that you got all these responses and all this engagement from this post, and you don't get that type of engagement again. It didn't, hey, you still posted it. You still posted something. You weren't kicked off the platform altogether. Now they could have did that. They said, we'll leave you with your platform. We'll leave you with your page, but we don't have to pay you. So there it is. They literally if you go back and look, for those who are on the Twitter platform right now at the sound of my voice, and go look at the people who share stuff just like this, all of them talk about losing that blue check and losing their subscriptions and being demonetized, over saying that they lost their quote unquote free speech. They didn't lose free speech. Clearly they didn't, because this man typed this post without the blue check, without the monetization, and it still got a lot of traction. Go figure.